Think all the good bikes are overpriced? Think again. Some of the best rides out there are hiding in plain sight, cheap, reliable, and totally overlooked. These are 10 hidden gem motorcycles no one talks about, but you definitely should. Let's dive in. Number 10. Yamaha FZ6 R. While many riders chase after fully fared race replicas, this Yamaha flies under the radar with a mix of real-world performance, everyday comfort, and pricing that will make any dealership deal hunter grin. The FZ6R is powered by a 600 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine that's derived from the older R6 platform, but it's been tuned for smoother power delivery and better low-end torque. This isn't a peaky track missile. It's a real-world machine that gives you the joy of revving out an inline-4 without being punished in city traffic or long highway stretches. The bike delivers around 78 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque, which is more than enough for spirited rides, but still tame enough for newer riders looking to upgrade from smaller bikes. Weight-wise, the FZ6R tips the scales at just under 470 pounds, which makes it a manageable option for daily use. It also comes with a slightly more upright riding position than full Supersports, which helps reduce wrist strain and makes it easier to see traffic ahead. That relaxed position, combined with the full fairing and decent wind protection, makes the FZ6R an underrated gem for commuting, weekend road trips, or even the occasional twisty mountain road. The chassis on the FZ6R feels solid without being overly stiff, which is perfect for riders who want feedback without feeling every crack in the pavement. The suspension is non-adjustable but well-balanced for most riders, especially in stock form. You won't be setting lap records at the track, but you will be smiling every time you crack the throttle and feel that smooth inline-4 surge. Another major perk of the FZ6R is its availability. Since Yamaha produced this bike for nearly a decade, there's a healthy supply on the used market. That means parts are plentiful, upgrades are easy to find, and maintenance is straightforward. And because it never gained a cult following like the R6 or R1, prices have stayed low, often between $3,500 and $4,500, depending on the year and condition. That's a steal for a bike with this kind of performance and reliability. But if you're craving something that looks vintage without giving you vintage headaches, the next bike on this list is an absolute goldmine. Liking the ride so far? Hit like and subscribe. More hidden gems are just around the corner. Number 9. Suzuki TU250X. This one right here is the definition of a hidden gem. The TU250X is one of those bikes that most people walk right past in a dealership without realizing just how much it has to offer, especially for what you can pick it up for. Dealerships are letting these go for incredibly low prices, often under $3,500 for a well-kept used one. And when you factor in how well it runs, how easy it is to maintain, and how versatile it is for riders of all levels, this little Suzuki becomes a steal. At the heart of the TU250X is a single-cylinder engine that pumps out 16 horsepower, 249 cubic centimeters, and around 14 pound-feet of torque. Sure, that might sound a little underwhelming to the guys riding bikes with big V-twins, but for city cruising, Sunday morning backroad runs, or teaching someone how to ride, it's more than enough. And thanks to its lightweight design, tipping the scales at only 326 pounds, this bike handles like a bicycle with an engine. Super easy to lean into corners and even easier to throw onto a trailer or into the garage. Maintenance is another huge win. You can practically rebuild half this bike with just a few wrenches. Oil changes are a breeze. If you are the kind of guy who likes getting your hands dirty in the garage, this is a bike that rewards that kind of hands-on care. Why is this bike not more popular? It's simple. People think it looks too old-fashioned or that it's too small to be taken seriously. But those are the same people who end up riding some oversized, uncomfortable monster of a bike they never really enjoy. The TU250X is the bike you fall in love with after owning something bigger and realizing that simpler often means better. If you are looking for a reliable, cheap, and charming little bike, To either start your journey or enjoy those backroad cruises with a smile on your face, this is the one you do not want to overlook. Dealerships are practically giving them away, and it is only a matter of time before people catch on. Now, speaking of underappreciated, the next one on this list is built like a tank, and still nobody's talking about it. Number 8. Kawasaki Versys 650. While everyone else is chasing after the more recognizable Ninjas or adventure-ready KLR models, this one sits quietly in the shadows, waiting for the right rider to see its true value. It is a classic case of a motorcycle that delivers far more than its reputation suggests. Under the tank, you get a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine that produces around 64 horsepower and 45 pound-feet of torque. That might not sound explosive, but in real-world riding conditions, this power band hits the sweet spot, making it smooth, capable, and plenty fast for the road. Whether you're navigating tight city traffic or leaning into a sweeping backroad corner, the Versys delivers a responsive and predictable feel that makes riding easy and enjoyable. One of the biggest surprises with the Versys is just how comfortable it is. Long travel suspension soaks up road imperfections with ease, and the upright riding position makes it ideal for long stretches in the saddle. Add to that a comfortable seat, wide handlebars, and a manageable wet weight of around 454 pounds, and you've got a bike that's ready for just about anything, from weekday commuting to weekend trips out of town. Visually, it does not try to follow trends or mimic more aggressive models. Instead, it strikes a unique balance between a naked bike and a light-duty adventure tourer. Some riders might find its looks a little unusual, but that nonconformity is exactly why the Versys flies under the radar. It is a true utility player, capable of performing multiple roles without needing the spotlight. Because it has never developed a strong following like other models in Kawasaki's lineup, the Versys has remained one of the best-kept secrets in the used motorcycle market. That lack of popularity works in your favor. Fewer people are searching for them, and sellers often let them go for far less than they are worth. If you are the kind of rider who values function over fame and wants a machine that will just keep running without making a scene, this is the motorcycle for you. If you are willing to ride something that most people overlook, you could score a serious win with the Versys. But if you want something that makes a little more noise, both on the street and in the parking lot, the next bike on this list is ready to grab attention without grabbing headlines. Number 7. Honda Shadow RS. This bike was part of the Shadow lineup for only a few years, and because of that short run and its subtle styling, it remains one of the most underrated cruisers on the used market today. Most people skip over it entirely while hunting for bigger-name models, but those who know what it is understand they are looking at a hidden gem. The RS sets itself apart from the rest of the Shadow family in a few key ways. While most Shadows were built as traditional cruisers, the RS leans toward a sportier design. It features higher foot pegs, a flatter seat, and a slightly more aggressive riding position that gives it a unique identity. Some even compare it to a certain iconic American V-twin cruiser because the RS almost looks like a Sportster at a glance. But dig a little deeper and you'll find the RS is its own machine with a lot more to offer than first impressions suggest. Powering the RS is a dependable 845 cubic centimeter V-twin engine. It produces around 43 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque, which may not sound overwhelming, but it is tuned perfectly for street use and easy riding. It is the kind of engine that just hums along all day, offering smooth power delivery and low-end grunt that makes city riding and cruising both feel natural and stress-free. It is also fuel-injected, which means no fiddling with choke levers or dealing with hard, cold starts. Another unique feature on the RS is its shaft drive. While chain drives and belt drives are common in this class, a shaft drive setup brings low-maintenance reliability and a clean look to the rear of the bike. It is one of those features that gets overlooked until you own one, and then you wonder why more bikes do not come with it. Combine that with a wet weight of just under 500 pounds, and you have a light, nimble machine that is great for both new and returning riders. If you want something unique, reliable, and easy to ride, the RS is a hidden gem worth hunting down. But if your taste leans more towards something that breaks all the rules, Just wait until you see the next bike on this list. Number 6. Hyosung GT250R. This is one of those bikes that fools just about everyone at first glance. When you see the GT250R parked next to other sport bikes, it looks every bit the part of a full-blown leader bike. The aggressive styling, the full fairings, the big bike stance, it checks all the boxes visually. But here's the kicker. It is not a leader bike. Under all that muscle-bound bodywork is a lightweight, easy-to-handle machine that delivers solid performance without the sky-high price tag. That makes it one of the biggest hidden gems you can buy today for dirt cheap, especially if you're cruising through the used market. This machine is powered by a 249 cubic centimeter V twin engine that produces around 28 horsepower and just over 16 pound-feet of torque. Now, those numbers won't win any drag races, but they are more than enough to keep you moving with confidence on the highway and around town. And for newer riders, those specs are actually a sweet spot, offering real motorcycle performance without the kind of overwhelming power that can get you in trouble. It's a great platform for learning, growing, and having fun without feeling underpowered or outclassed. The V-twin setup gives it a nice growl compared to the more common parallel twin engines in this class, and the power delivery is smooth and approachable. What really sets this bike apart, though, is its size. Unlike most beginner-friendly bikes, the GT250R comes in a full-size frame. That means even taller or heavier riders can feel comfortable without feeling like they're riding a toy. With a wet weight of approximately 375 pounds, it's still manageable, but it gives you that satisfying feeling of being on a real motorcycle. One of the reasons this bike flies under the radar is simple: the brand. Hyosung isn't a household name in the United States, and some folks hesitate when they see a name they don't recognize. But make no mistake, this machine is not some cheap knockoff. If you want a bike that looks fast, rides well, and doesn't carry the typical beginner bike stigma, the GT250R deserves a serious look. But if you're ready for something that looks quiet on the outside and rides like a rocket, the next bike on this list is a true sleeper hiding in plain sight. Number 5. Honda NC700X and NC750X. At first glance, it sounds like something out of a commuter's dream rather than a rider's fantasy. It has a storage compartment where the gas tank should be, a red line that tops out lower than most cars, and fuel efficiency that puts scooters to shame. But that's exactly why the NC series is such a hidden gem, because almost no one gives it the credit it deserves. And because of that, you can scoop one up dirt cheap on the used market. The NC700X and NC750X are powered by a parallel twin engine that ranges from 670 cubic centimeters to 745 cubic centimeters, depending on the year and model. These bikes produce around 54 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. That may not seem like much, but the low-end torque comes on early, giving you surprisingly strong pull right off the line. Combine that with an automatic or manual transmission option, and you have a bike that feels confident, smooth, and extremely forgiving to ride. Now let's talk about that storage. Instead of giving you a high-capacity gas tank up top, a front trunk large enough to hold a full-face helmet. It's waterproof, secure, and so practical that many riders say they can't go back to traditional tank layouts. The actual gas tank is cleverly tucked under the seat to balance the bike's weight more evenly. The seating position is upright, the foot pegs are comfortably positioned, and the suspension is designed with everyday usability in mind. This is the kind of bike you could take across town for errands or across the state for a weekend ride, all without having to stop constantly for fuel. In fact, thanks to its efficient engine tuning, the NC series often gets over 60 miles per gallon, depending on your riding style. Weight comes in around 475 pounds wet, which means it's light enough for beginners to feel in control, but heavy enough to hold stable on the highway. If practical performance with a hidden twist is your thing, this is your bike. But if you're looking for something with even more muscle and less subtlety, the next machine on this list might just stop you in your tracks. Number 4. Suzuki GSX 650F. This next motorcycle is one of the most underrated and misunderstood machines to ever wear the Suzuki badge. While most riders get fixated on the GSX R lineup and its high-revving track focus, the GSX 650F quietly delivers real-world performance without the flash or the price tag. At the heart of this machine is a liquid-cooled inline-4 engine with a displacement of 656 cubic centimeters. It produces around 85 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque, giving it more than enough grunt for spirited backroad riding, daily commuting, or even light touring. That power comes on smooth and steady, making the bike feel responsive without being twitchy. It may not scream like a race bike, but it definitely moves when you roll on the throttle. One of the biggest advantages of the 650F is its relaxed ergonomics and sport touring setup. Unlike the GSX-Rs, which tuck you into a full race crouch, this bike lets you sit upright with a more neutral wrist position. That makes a huge difference on longer rides or when navigating traffic in the city. Riders often find themselves able to go twice the distance with half the fatigue, and that's no exaggeration. It blends sport bike power with a practical riding position that older riders or anyone with back or wrist issues will appreciate. The chassis is stable and confidence-inspiring. With a curb weight of approximately 530 pounds, it feels solid without being bulky. The full fairing gives the bike a sleek, cohesive look, but also adds protection from wind and road debris when you're riding at highway speeds. Combine that with adjustable suspension, dual disc brakes up front, and a well-cushioned seat, and you've got a bike that delivers a smooth, planted experience across a wide variety of riding conditions. But if you're the kind of rider who wants something even more rare, with a little more personality and even less exposure, the next bike on this list takes things in a strange but fascinating direction. Number 3. Moto Guzzi FZ6 Classic. Built by an Italian manufacturer with over a century of heritage, this bike has the soul of a cafe racer, the comfort of a cruiser, and the timeless styling of a vintage icon, all without the jaw-dropping price tag. In fact, it remains one of the most affordable retro-styled European bikes you can buy today, largely because most riders have never even heard of it. At the heart of the V7 Classic is an air-cooled, longitudinally mounted V twin engine displacing 744 cubic centimeters. This engine delivers a modest but satisfying output of around 50 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque. While those numbers might not blow the doors off, they are more than enough to cruise comfortably at highway speeds or navigate through tight urban traffic with ease. The power is delivered in a smooth, predictable fashion that makes the bike incredibly user-friendly, especially for riders who want a relaxed ride with character. The shaft drive system is another standout feature. Most bikes in this price range use chain or belt drive, which require regular maintenance and adjustment. But the V7's shaft drive offers low upkeep, high durability, and a seamless transfer of power to the rear wheel. It's quiet, clean, and keeps your ride simple, something every experienced rider can appreciate. In terms of handling, the V7 Classic is a real treat. With a dry weight of just over 400 pounds, it feels nimble and manageable, whether you're carving through corners or just cruising through town. The low seat height and neutral riding position make it a comfortable option for a wide range of riders, and the bike's classic proportions give it universal appeal. From the chrome details to the round headlight and sculpted tank, the styling is unmistakably retro without trying too hard. If you want a bike that stands out at the local diner or turns heads at every stoplight, but without the hassle of high costs or exotic upkeep, the V7 Classic is a hidden gem worth seeking out. But if you're looking for something that blends street fun with off-road potential, the next bike on this list might just be the ultimate all-rounder. Number 2. Suzuki DRZ 4SM Supermoto. This bike is the kind of machine that doesn't quite fit into a neat category. It's not a pure dirt bike, it's not a traditional sport bike, it's not a cruiser. But it takes a little of everything, throws it into a lightweight frame, and creates something that is pure, unfiltered fun. Most riders pass right by this one because they're looking for more conventional categories, something with fairings or saddlebags or classic cruiser lines, and that's the mistake. Because underneath its unique look is a bike that can handle city riding, canyon carving, and even mild off-road stretches without breaking a sweat. That versatility is exactly what makes it one of the best-kept secrets in the used motorcycle world. At its core, the DRZ 400 Supermoto runs on a 400 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine that cranks out approximately 39 horsepower and 29 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers might not sound impressive next to a Super Sport or a V-twin, but the way this bike delivers power is what makes it shine. It is quick off the line, easy to manage at low speeds, and responsive in tight corners, making it ideal for riders who want something playful and easy to toss around. Weighing in at only 321 pounds wet, this bike is incredibly nimble. You can lean it into corners, flick it around traffic, or hop a curb without hesitation. The low weight also means better control for newer riders or those getting back into riding after a break. The Supermoto package includes 17-inch wheels wrapped in street tires, giving it that low-slung, aggressive look and sharp handling on pavement. The suspension is long travel and fully adjustable, taken straight from Suzuki's off-road playbook, which makes it capable of soaking up bumps, potholes, and uneven road surfaces that would rattle other bikes to pieces. It rides like a dirt bike but handles like a sport bike, and that's a rare combination. If you like the idea of a bike that can go almost anywhere, do almost anything, and still put a smile on your face every ride, the Supermoto is your answer. But the next and final bike on this list might be even more surprising. It's a machine almost no one talks about, and yet it delivers in ways that even the big brands can't match. Number 1. Kawasaki ZR 7S. Topping this list of hidden gem motorcycles that no one talks about, and that you can still scoop up for dirt cheap, is the Kawasaki ZR 7S. Most riders either do not know this bike ever existed or confuse it for something far less capable. That lack of recognition has kept prices low and availability high, making it one of the best-kept secrets in the used market. At the heart of the ZR7S is a bulletproof 738 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline 4-cylinder engine. This reliable power plant produces around 75 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque, making it an ideal street machine with enough muscle to satisfy both new and experienced riders alike. It is not a screamer like a modern super sport, but it has enough power to cruise effortlessly on highways, take on mountain curves, and leave a grin on your face every time you twist the throttle. One of the things that makes this bike so appealing is just how simple and sturdy it is. There are no overcomplicated electronics or rider modes, no flashy screens, no complex fuel maps. Just an old-school mechanical motorcycle built for real-world riding. And that simplicity comes with a big upside. It is incredibly easy to maintain. If you like to wrench on your own bikes, the ZR7S is a dream come true. Valve adjustments, oil changes, air filters, chain tension, it is all easily accessible and straightforward. For older American riders who appreciate a solid machine they can work on themselves, this bike checks every box. Now let us talk about the price, and this is where the ZR7S really shines. You can regularly find these bikes listed between $2,000 and $2,500 in good running condition. And because the ZR7S never caught on in a mainstream way, you are not paying a collector's premium or brand hype tax. This bike is purely about function, and that is why the value is unbeatable. If you want something dependable, surprisingly powerful, and almost criminally underpriced, the ZR7S deserves your attention. It is a motorcycle that delivers way more than its quiet reputation suggests. And that is exactly why it tops this list of hidden gems. If you enjoyed this list of hidden gem motorcycles, let us know your favorite in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more underrated bike picks and old-school motorcycle content made just for riders like you.